Hello, everyone. Welcome to the penultimate round of FIDE Candidates 2022 in Madrid. And one of the highlights of this round is Nakamura's win over Christoph Duda. Well, Nakamura actually is capable of winning games like this. That's why it's a bit disappointing what he did in round number 12. Well, okay, but it's all in the past now. Let's check his present game against Duda. He went for e4. Okay, Duda went for c5. Knight f3, d6, d4, takes, knight f6, knight f3, a6. We have the Sicilian Najdorf. Bishop e3, the English attack. So e5, knight f3. Bishop e7, bishop c, h3, h6, bishop c4. Okay, control of the important d5 square. Duda plays bishop e6 with that challenge on this line. Nakamura keeps his bishop on b3. Again, all eyes on d5. Knight into c6, knight h4. An interesting approach by Nakamura. Again, the main point of knight h4 is that if black tries to exchange on b3, then that knight can jump to f5. And also Nakamura is ready to take on e6. Also the knight can jump to g6. Let's take a look at, let's say, black castling. White could probably go takes e6 and knight g6. And then he would take on e7 for that matter. Duda went for knight e5, takes, knight g6. That was the main point of knight h4. Rook g8, castles. Knight c4, just bishop c1, protecting b2. Rook c8, h4. I actually like this move now, because if black tries to attack the knight with king f7, Nakamura is ready to go for h5, protect your outpost on g6. The knight is stopping the rook on g8 and is controlling some important squares in front of the enemy king. Yeah. So rook c6, queen f3, king into f7, h5. All right, queen goes to c7, knight to d1. Okay, the main point also of Nakamura playing queen f3 is to protect that knight on c3. He would go for b3, try to go for bishop b2. So Duda anticipated that move. He plays queen c7. Now the point here is that if white plays b3, his queen and rook will attack that knight on c3 after removing the knight on c4. So knight d1, knight to b6, knight d3 protects c2, preparing c4 later on. Look at the triangle here. Oops. Knight goes back to d7, c4. Knight f8. Now, if black tries to attack that pawn on e4, white would go for rook e1. Knight takes e4, and this important move, b4. Now, what's the point of b4? Let's take a look at a move that, let's say b5. Okay, the point of b4 is to go c5. Because if black captures that pawn, this knight goes g4, hitting e5 with two knights. The rook was also hitting that knight on e4. And if that knight goes g5, queen will just run back to e2, and it's the same. That pawn will push to c5, right? With removing that defender on e5, the d6 pawn. Yeah. So Duda played knight f8 because this is a very annoying knight on g6. He wants to exchange the knight. Nakamura went back. Knight h7. There's also an interesting line here. Black could go g5 here, yes, forcing the exchange. Let's say takes with g6. Takes, and rook takes g6. I actually like black here. And if, let's say, the knight, or maybe b3, let's say b3 protecting c4, your queen b6, bishop to b2, for example, this rook goes back to c8. This is what I like. Then shift it to the king side rook g8, double up on the g5. That would have been a nice counterplay for black. But Duda played it safe, played a conservative knight h7 move, trying to go for that g5 here, or played b3, that g5 queen e2. He wants to take that pawn. Okay, anyway, pawn is a pawn. But white doesn't mind, because again, it's all about the position of the king. King on g1 is safe, king on f7 is a bit dangerous. Rook into e8, Duda tries the artificial casting, king can go back to g8, knight g6, king g8. It looks as if black has castled. Rook to d1, okay, white's counterplay would be that backward d6 pawn, a5, knight g4, bishop d8, takes. At the moment, black is doing better here. Rook d2, knight d7, rook f d1, bishop d5. Black is actually winning here, yeah. Rook to d3, that extra pawn. Now b5, nice move by Duda. Because if Nakamura captures that pawn, he has rook c2. Double attack on the bishop and the queen. This bishop takes away that d2 square. So bishop a3 was played by Nakamura, and Duda was very optimistic, and he played his mistake here with d5. I don't know what he missed here. Now this is just too much. You just have to close b4 here. Nakamura is forced to move back to b2. You can push e4. Now, what's the point of e4? If the queen takes, you have knight c5, double attack. Double attack on d3 and e4, right? And black is winning the exchange. And if white doesn't want to capture e4, he goes rook g3, for example, you push d5. Again, the threat would be if c takes d5, there's rook c2. But Duda played d5 instantly, and he should regret this decision of pushing that pawn to d5. Because what happens now after take rook c2, he completely missed bishop d6. Nakamura is just so good tactically. So bishop d6. Okay, the queen is protecting c2. Right, it's an overworked piece, so he cannot capture the bishop. You can just take the rook on c2. If you go back to c8, keeping the attack on the queen, there's just queen f3. Yeah, and white should be better here. Yeah. So Duda went for takes. Rook takes e7. Let's see if it's still fine. It's still fine. Nakamura went for d6. And Duda played the final mistake, knight d7. Well, in Chelsea, you gotta be consistent and you gotta be confident also. When you play the move knight c5, the main thing about this one is to take the rook. So you don't turn your back. Once opponent pushes, why not take the rook? Right? Continue with your plan. Go with it. Okay, can you survive? Maybe black will survive, or maybe black will also win. Let's check this line, e4. White pushes d7 with the rook on a8. Let's say a rook to d6 or rook to d4, doesn't matter. Take a2. White promotes. Okay, white has, after bishop takes d8, he has two minor pieces, the knight and the bishop for the rook. But black has this important outside pass pawn. Okay, a4 takes. And white really has no time for a quick attack on g7. Because if, let's say, rook to d7, you go rook b2. the bishop cannot shift to c7 and e5 instantly. If let's say bishop c7, you pin, right? White cannot use b6 because of the rook, right? And let's take a look at bishop b6 straight away. Black has e5, right? Then the counterplay will be slow. Okay, let's say rook c2, not allowing knight c4 here. Knight goes back, for example. Let's say knight goes back to g6. You push the pawn in a3. Okay. You go rook d7, right? Okay, rook c4. Not allowing bishop d4, because if you play bishop d4 now, take. After take, then you have, sorry, after take, you have a2 and wins. Yeah. But Duda hesitated. This is a problem when you hesitate. The problem will it's just a compounding problem. And after 97, White now has the upper hand. And here Nakamura was so precise. Yeah. Started with capture in a5. Okay, there's rook takes a2, but bishop b4. Nice move by Nakamura. Bishop into d8. Rook c3. What a nice move. Yeah, moving out of the danger zone. Intermediate move. King h7. Just f3, keeping the pawn. If black tries to capture that pawn on f2, there's always rook c7. Rook, let's say, protects the knight. Rook to b7. Okay, let's say king move. Knight into e7, blocking that rook, protecting d7. So an interference, or interposing. You interpose. The rook now cannot defend that knight on d7. So a pretty good move. King h2 after king h7. f3 first, keeping the pawn. Rook c7. Rook a7, rook c6. Bishop goes to e3. Nakamura tries to get rid of the bishop because the bishop is protecting that rook on a7. The rook, bishop protects this rook. Nakamura can jump to c7 after the exchange with the bishop. Duda keeps it to bishop d4. Bishop c3 goes back to e3. Okay, Nakamura is like, okay, let's go rook c7, rook e8. Nice move, king h3. You don't take that pawn instantly on e5, this bishop 4. Double attack, yeah? So king h3. All right. Moving out of danger. b4, just take. To b8, go back to c3. Rook takes b3. Nakamura went for rook c8. Okay, the main point is that after rook b8 takes, knight is b8. Duda resigned after d7. Because if let's say you continue with knight d7, rook takes d7, rook takes d7, and then double attack on the rook. Sorry, on the rook and the king. White wins the piece. White wins the game. And if okay, also by the way, in this position, it was also possible for white to take that knight straight away. You take on d7, same thing, knight f8, king goes back to g8, you take the rook, rook takes bishop, rook, knight takes pawn on e5, unstoppable pawn. Okay, Duda had his chances in this game. That d5 move was not needed. It was uncalled for. He would just simply play b4, blocking Nakamura's dark square bishop, and put that knight on c5, push that pawn on e4. And it should be winning for black, yeah. But with d5, there was a sudden twist. He gave Nakamura the chance, and after giving Nakamura the chance, Nakamura never looked back. And Nakamura now is in second place going into the last game. By the way, congratulations also to Nepomniachtchi, who discussed that game after this. All right, guys, I'm not sure. Okay, it's still, let's say Nakamura gets second place. It's still not sure if Carlsen will play the World Championship. So if Carlsen will not play the World Championship, then it could be Nakamura versus Nepomniachtchi. It's just a guess. It's only hypothetical. All right, so that was it. Nakamura winning round number 13. He's in second because Ting drew his game today. And Nepo with a draw. He clinched the title with a round to spare. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for supporting our channel, Charles Max Chess and Charles Max Entertainment on Facebook and YouTube. This is Coach Oliver. Stay safe, everyone. Bye-bye.